Hello, my name is Alexander Ermenkov. Today is 15th of December 2022, and I'm continuing my series, Daily Reality with Alex. I would like to speak today about validation in reality and how we as human beings are to constantly validate everything that is coming and is experienced in our internal being. It is a very important process that is helping us to be objective and to not come into 100% subjectivity and to be disassociated from reality. So this process of validation, it is embedded anyhow in reality. And once we learn that we are to do it on a daily basis, it is going to help us. Because if we just go into our imagination, if we're staying only in our inner world, and we think that what is in our mind, what is in our imagination, what is in the invisible parts of us, only this is what reality is, and we're going to ignore everything that is coming from the five senses and the data stream that is coming from the outer reality, then we are entering different delusional states. Of course, long term, we have the external reality, and through it, we are able to validate who we are. And it is good and beautiful to know what is our state in the moment based on the external reality. I will give you some examples. Just imagine that you are very strongly working with your imagination and you want to feel that you are in 100% abundance and that you are very rich inside of you, and you can create even identification inside, and so on and so on. And this is, of course, part of the mental exercises that all of us can do. But long term, if we are not able to start manifesting and to start expressing our new type of identities that we are willing to impress reality with and to start influencing from the inside out, if we are not creating such type of flows, then we enter delusional states where we are ignoring the outer reality, because the outer reality and the bank accounts can show us different data stream than what we delusionally start to think in our head. And instead of being able to start a new process of affecting and influencing the outer reality, we are creating a disassociation type of processes where in our heads there is different reality than what is the outside reality. Of course, there are protective mechanisms that long-term sometimes are helping, but the basic model towards which we are long-term in necessity to go, and this is to be our direction, is to have a coherence between our inner being and our outer reality. And of course, when, for example, you're a rich person, it is very easy for you to perform and to have richness expressions in the outer reality. The problem is that when you are a poor person in the outer reality and you are starting to just change your inner self and to start influencing the outer reality, immediately the data stream are showing that this is not so. And then are we to deny the outer reality? No. Are we to say, well, I'm not a rich person and I'm poor? Is it true? yes, in the moment, based on the validation of the outer reality, it is true, but long term, based on the processes that we as human beings are able to apply as influence and create a disbalance in the reality, long term, it can create a different path for all of us. Everyone is always starting from ground zero in everything that we are expressing in the outer reality. So it is important to use the outer reality as a validation and a snapshot of what it is in the moment. And of course, long term, these snapshots are only there for us just to be able to measure to what extent our inner being was able to express itself. And because the outer reality is important and it is there for us to use it, to influence it, to measure what is our state, and also to validate every moment who we are in the moment expressing in the outside reality, there is always a delay. In our mind, we can be in a probability realm where we can be, let's say, 20 years ahead of who we are in the moment. Because inside of us, we are anyhow limitless beings, so it's very easy for us to understand and to perceive a new vision and to see it and to imagine it and to feel it. And whenever and whatever we are saying about this expression of probabilities that exist, it is okay. But later on, there are to be applicational processes that are on a daily basis working with reality in order these processes to create a confidence that this new reality that we were able inside of us to embrace and to allow ourselves to express in the outer reality, where there is a delay, but to start letting out this new reality in the outside world. And this is the positive part of the way we are expressing ourselves in the outer reality and the way we use outer reality for validation. But long term, we need to know that because of the imaginational world and because in the realm of the mind, there is no difference between physical matter, non-physical matter, between imagination and reality. And that's why when from the data stream is coming a different data than what the mind has already perceived as a new reality, we are to know how to deal with this difference between the two informations, and also to stay grounded and to use reality for validational purposes of what is exactly our state in the moment, and not to go into the delusion that already our mind state is present in the physical matter reality. Of course, we can manage as much as we want these differences between the mental realm and the expression of ourselves through doingness in the physical matter reality. But more and more we are coming into coherence between these two. It is going to help us much more to have confident steps forward into expressing and manifesting everything that is coming from our inner being forward. Anyhow, we are encouraged to be manifestational types of beings, but also we are strongly encouraged to be grounded and to validate with the outside reality daily our state of being. And that's why it's very important to surround ourselves not only with people that are like-minded like us, but also to have communications with people from different type of bubbles, because long-term, the objective reality that is out there should be monitored, and we need to constantly know to what extent we are allowed to express and what parts of ourselves are we actually allowed to express in any given moment, because it gives us a nice perspective of our actual state in the moment. That's why I like a lot to use reality, to observe it, to use it as a validational tool. Of course, it's very easy when we look in reality, maybe 90% of the time we are able to discourage ourselves, but then we are to use the principles of measuring how far we have gone, and to use the outer reality only as a snapshot that can measure how far we have gone from point A to the exact moment in time. And then why we are then, Alex, some of you can say, why are we to use the outer reality as a validation, since it's never what is our internal being? In our internal being, we are so much more, we are so much further, we are so much forward thinking there, we are so much ahead of what is the actual reality. Because if we just stay and try to be in the future and try to stay in our imaginations, we are going to lose the present moment. Because in the present moment, where everything is working in progress, it is always showing us who we are as a state of being in the moment, and we need to constantly appreciate it, because otherwise we cannot jump forward into the future reality, but we need to constantly have solid groundings at every given moment at the stage we are, and then to build upon this confidence our next stage of being, then to build upon this confidence our next stage of being, and long term also our imaginations about who we are also going to change based on how much we were able to express. But it is important to use reality as validational purposes, to use reality as a tool that is helping us to quite accurately measure our state in the moment, because otherwise, if we are just staying in the mental realm and the imaginational realm, we can get disassociated from reality, and we can be discouraged to implement, and we can just think that it is much more easy to stay in the dream world. And why are we to use this reality? Because it's constantly showing us how slow, how not easy everything is, and how much efforts it requires, and how much sacrifice it requires, and so on and so on. But this is the beauty, because nothing in reality happens without there not to be an exchange. So we are going to understand long term that all our imaginations, in order to become part of the manifested reality, there are so many things from our inner being that we need to give away, to let go, and just to allow more and more of our pureness to be expressed forward. So this is a very small part of how we are to use reality as a validational tool of who we are in the moment, of what is our state in the moment, and to enjoy. Of course, reality is always going to be a limitation, a small presentation of who we are, but also we are to enjoy that how much is allowed for us to express. It is still so precious. And of course, more and more we interact with reality, more and more we are deeply starting to evolve our inner being into this reality manifestation and expression. So thank you for watching today. This is a very small part of the validational processes, but it is very good and beautiful to know that these validational processes about who we are in the physical matter reality expression is actually that long-term matters, because otherwise all of us are limitless beings. All of us can move so strongly into a lot of imaginational dreaming worlds that we cannot express. The important thing long-term in reality is to be functional, interactional, and implementational. So thank you for watching today. Enjoy your reality and enjoy constantly validating yourself. Bye-bye.